Today we're going to talk about 9 different jobs you can do in Thailand. Now you have to be very careful when you come to Thailand. There are restricted amount of jobs you can do here. And if you go to the government website, you can see the list of restricted jobs in Thailand. Also, when you come over to Thailand, you will need a proper visa and work permit to work over here legally, guys. I got a lot of experience with the first one. That's going to be the unqualified teacher. So the most important thing you would need to do this is you would need a bachelor's degree from your own country. So either a 3-year or a 4-year degree to do this. That is the main thing to get the work permit and the visa over in Thailand to teach. You can do other things like a TESOL certificate, which is looked at highly, or a CELTA certificate. So both of these are an advantage, and if you've got experience obviously with kids, this helps. But these are the basic qualifications you would need. There's lots of different schools you can work at in Thailand. The first one is like a government school. This is probably lower end kind of pay, as well as like a private language school. Both of these are kind of the lower end kind of entry level kind of teaching jobs that a lot of people do when they come over here. These are kind of your 30 to 40,000 baht a month jobs in Thailand, and a lot of people do these around the country. Now, doing these gigs is quite difficult. You know, a private language school, you would need to work at the weekends, which is annoying, and normally you get a couple of days off in the week. And it's hard work. You're teaching lots of different kids. You're teaching like kindergarten, you're teaching primary, you're teaching secondary kids, you're teaching adults, you're teaching business, you're teaching pretty much everything. You're a jack of all trades, because I've done it myself. Yeah, this is a tricky job. It's normally one-on-one, or one in you're teaching a few kids at a time, or just one-on-one. This is what it's normally like, and the salary is pretty low, as well as government schools. Government schools, you'll be chucked in with 30, 40, 50 kids. Every school's slightly different. That's tricky. I've done this before as well. If you've done this, put it in the comments. Yeah, it's a tricky job. It's not easy at all. Normally you've not got a teaching assistant, and it's not fun. I've done it 6-12 months, and yeah, it's hard work. Now, going up from there, you can get like in a private school with an English program. That's what I've done quite a bit when I've worked in Thailand over the years. So they have like private area and then like a separate kind of program for the English program. This is a pretty good gig. Normally you got some kind of teaching assistant in the class with you, which makes it a bit easier. Normally the money's a bit higher. So yeah, these are some, normally classes are a little bit small. It's a bit more professional, as I would say. Sometimes, not always, but it can be. And there's more English spoken by the Thai teachers as well, which makes, communication in the staff room around the school a bit better. And the kids normally can speak English a bit better. Usually, not always, but usually, yeah, because it's an English program, so they're learning English a lot more in the school. If you're a qualified teacher from, an English-speaking country, then you can teach in international schools. And if you're fully qualified from your own country, you can teach in international schools in Thailand and earn a lot more money. But that is a different type of job coming out here. A lot of them are employed from abroad before they come out to Thailand, not like a kind of unqualified teacher that comes out here to teach. Some people get online gigs out here for teaching. There's few and far between now, and the pay's really bad, to be honest with you. A few people used to do it. I used to do it years and years ago, but now not many people do it because the salary is so low. You can get some gigs if you're lucky when you're teaching like Japanese students or Chinese students, but you're in Thailand, that can happen. I've known a few teachers do this over the years. This is quite a good gig if you can get into this. It's quite tricky to get into nowadays. You can also do like private tutoring, which I have done as well. This is okay kind of gig. You kind of need to charge enough money. Don't price yourself too low. You need to price yourself quite high if you come over here. That's just marketing, but you should read up about that if you want to come over here. That's something that some people do alongside kind of teaching, but you've got to be careful because you're not really supposed to do that, because that is, the work permit only really covers you for the school you work in. So to do private work is a bit tricky. You're not really supposed to do that in Thailand. Your work permit states you work in this school and that's it, which makes it a bit annoying because, if you're doing anything on the side, it's a bit dodgy. You shouldn't really be doing that, guys, when you come to Thailand. Okay, let's move on to the second one, which is online work, freelance work. A lot of people do freelance, or they're employed from their own country in a company and they're sent to Thailand to work. This is a great gig if you can get this. You know, if you can get a transfer to live in Thailand but still work on an international salary. I think these are some of the happiest people in Thailand because they're on the most money. Not everyone can do this. Not everyone has got companies in Thailand where they can get transferred over. But I've met a few people over here that are doing this, and you know, they're on really good salaries over here because they're on international salary. The next one would be, number 3, would be getting into some kind of tourism. Hotel manager is quite a big thing that people do over here. You do see them in some of the big hotels like the Hilton or the Marriott, these kind of hotels where they do employ like a manager in the hotel to manage the whole hotel. But I think it's quite a tricky gig because, you know, you're kind of on your own in there. There's probably not any other foreign staff in there for support, so you're probably just on your own. I think I've seen a few foreigners doing this, and I think, oh, that's quite challenging. You're kind of working on your own. You are the boss there, but ooh, it would be a tricky gig to do. I wouldn't like to do that, to be honest with you. Number 4 would be a realtor, or like, you know, getting to real estate, getting commission on condos, apartments, houses, pool villas in good locations like, you know, Hua Hin, Pattaya, Phuket, Chiang Mai. There's a lot of people doing this, and they're working on commission, selling to foreigners. You're allowed to do this in Thailand as long as you're only selling to foreigners. This is kind of the written rule. You can get a work permit for this as well, guys. There's a lot of people doing this. There's one on YouTube I've seen who's doing it down in Phuket. He's selling like pool villas. Yeah, it looks like quite lucrative if you can get into that. You know, if you can sell a pool villa for 5 million baht and then you get like 5%, it's pretty good. You know, it's pretty lucrative, I think, if you can get into it and you're good at selling and you're good with people. I think, oh, maybe I should do that. Maybe. Yeah, so that's something you could do over in Thailand. 5 would be working fitness. Now, you can actually do this in Thailand. I've seen a few around Bangkok, in Phuket. They work as trainers. So personal trainers, yoga instructors. Maybe it's a mixed martial arts gym, and then they would have a, you know, a karate instructor come in a few times a week, and maybe a judo instructor come in, or wrestling instructor. So this is something you can do if this is your skill over in Thailand, especially in places like Phuket. Is very popular for that. Bangkok as well. In Phuket, I know that if I was going to do that, I'd go to Phuket because there's some really good gyms down there with loads of foreigners and lots of foreign workers down there as well, guys. Number 6 would be open up a business. So open up a cafe, open up a bar, open up a restaurant. Now this, you usually do this if you've got a Thai partner over in Thailand. You know, I could do this quite easily, open a bar. Not that I'm going to open a bar, it's crazy. Or a coffee shop or something like this. And I have thought about doing this, but it's hard. You know, these kind of jobs are tricky. You know, you're opening a business in Thailand, maybe you don't know anything about. Running businesses in Thailand is very, very different than running a business back in the UK or America. There are different rules over here and different things you have to pay. So you've got to be careful and make sure you've got experience in business. You have a solid kind of Thai partner, whether it's your wife or, you know, another business partner, Thai business partner in Thailand. This is essential, someone you trust 100%. But I wouldn't do this unless you're very, very experienced. There's a lot of people doing this in Pattaya, Bangkok. You know, they brought bars, businesses, restaurants in Hua Hin too, and they're making good money, some of them, but some of them are not. Normally the ones that are making good money are the ones online. You know, they've got a really good following. There's a famous guy in Pattaya, what's his name? Buzzing Pattaya, his YouTube channel is called. It's good. I don't know what kind of bar it is in Pattaya, but he's got a bar in Pattaya. You can have a look yourself. And he seems like he's quite successful, but I don't know his financial situation. He seems to have a good YouTube following, so that is going to help bring in a lot of customers to his bar for sure. Because you see people, you know, they watch him on YouTube, they go to Pattaya, and then they're like, oh, let's go to his bar, Buzzing Pattaya's bar, because, you know, it's just go and see the guy, you know, because he's probably in there 6-7 days a week. Sorry to disturb you guys. Can you just press the red subscribe button? It really helps the channel out. Thanks, and back to the video. Number 7 would be a scuba diving instructor. So I know people do go to like places like Phuket, Koh Samui, Koh Tao, Koh Phangan, These are really good locations for kind of, if you want to be a diving instructor. These are like some of the good areas in Thailand to do this. It is a tricky gig to get into. The salary is not that high, but if you get in there, some people start their own business, you know, your scuba diving business. And I think that's where the money is. You know, you might work a season first and then, you know, decide to open your own business over there, scuba diving. So yeah, this is something else you could do. Number 8, import and exporting goods from Thailand to abroad. I know 1 or 2 people who've done this, one successfully, one not so successfully. You like exporting Thai goods or Thai merchandise, clothes, whatever, knickknacks from Thailand, whatever sells, to be honest with you. So yeah, this is something else you could do in Thailand, the import-export business. I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to comment anymore. And number 9, what I'm trying to do at the moment, content creator, YouTuber, Facebook extraordinaire, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm trying to do this now at the moment. And I'll tell you from first-hand experience, it's a massive amount of work for little reward, guys. But I think if you do it over a long period of time, you can make a lot of money. But it takes many, many years to kind of get good. I mean, you see all these people pop up on YouTube that are very, very famous and they made a lot of money and they've only been doing it a few months. Okay, they are the absolute minority. Most creators you never see because they've just done it for 2 years and then just never got many views, got a few, you know, a few thousand subs and then never really gone anywhere from there. You know, there's thousands of these in Thailand doing this, I can assure you, because I come across them because I always on YouTube looking. And, you know, for the 1 or 2 that actually make a lot of money, you know, there's probably 3,000-4,000 making nothing or very, you know, a few dollars a video or something pathetic. So, yeah, think hard, long and hard if you want to do content creation in Thailand. It is a fantastic thing to do if you're interested in making videos, if you're interested in talking to people like this online. If you're not interested and you've not got video, if you're not interested in videography and not interested in making content and you know, don't want to work too hard, then don't do this job. I mean, I'm working 15, 16 hours a day to try and do these videos. It's ridiculous. You know, it takes a long time to make videos, put them together, and it actually gets harder and harder the more and more you get into it, because you start off, you're like, oh, you're just talking to the camera, and then you're like, oh, I need to improve things, and then I need to get better and better, and everything, every video you think, oh God, it takes longer and longer. And then when you start getting, now my stage where I'm trying to really improve the editing, trying to improve the quality of the video, trying to improve the content, it takes a long time. And even now I'm thinking, oh, I'm trying to put videos out every day at the moment, and you know, it's starting to be a struggle. It's like, geez, this is just a lot of work, you know, for not really any reward at the moment. Hopefully in the future, you know, I'm going to make a lot of money. That's the plan. All right, that's your 9 jobs in Thailand. Don't remember though, when you come to Thailand, you will need a work permit and a proper visa to work over in Thailand, guys. Okay, I hope this helps you out. It's a little bit different one today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.